Are there any other passion projects that you're working on, movements that you're a part of?
I actually collaborated with It's Raining Raincoats.
Okay.
And it's an organization here in Singapore that focuses on migrant workers. So my advocacy is actually to champion migrant workers and minority groups. It's really important to give them the kind of support that they need. So It's Raining Raincoats created a peer-to-peer literacy program. So that meant I was tied to a worker and I got on a call with them to teach them English.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so during the lockdown, we were remotely interacting with each other. And I helped him with his written and oral use of English so that it could help them in the workforce. So apart from that, It's Raining Raincoats has been really great in trying to champion, higher morale and help them with case-to-case legislative aid. So sometimes they're coming in, they don't really get the support that they need. For example, if they get injured, what happens then? Because they're in labor work, right? So it's really nice to be a part of an organization that not just does fundraising, volunteerism, but also helps them legislatively.
And it puts you in a situation where you're able to learn a lot kind of about what these guys need that they're not getting as well, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I know that COVID has been really difficult on everybody, more so that particular group, because I did say there was a mass outbreak due to the dormitories and the living situation they were in. But having said that, there was so much support that came through after that happened because there was so much coverage over it. So coverage is a big deal, right? To have representation and to see that part of the story makes a huge difference. I actually started Miss Universe Singapore as a finalist in 2019, so before COVID happened. And even then, I was already championing migrant workers. So it's really nice to see the level of attitude and the support that comes through after this case has happened. I mean, it's not a good situation, but there's definitely a silver lining to it.
Better late than never scenario, right?
Yeah.
And have you been able to actually spend a fair bit of time with some of the migrant workers and kind of get to know them? And
I would say that it's really intimate doing the peer-to-peer literacy call because what you're really doing is getting to know that person. So what he would do was he would send me his emails, for example, and then we would get on a call and then we would go through some of the things that he would write, and I would tell him how he can explore the written use of English better. But more than that, it's also just getting to know the person. How is your day? What's happening? How does it work in the construction sites? And he also gets to inquire about my life. So I really get to know them at that point. But more than that, I also do a lot of volunteer work. So It's Raining Raincoats would do, Chinese bazaars. They would do donations.
okay.
And we would give them out to migrant workers in special occasions. So we would hold kind of like these fair bazaars, like vintage bazaars. And we would also have events where they could go on the flyer.
Okay.
And they could experience a different part of Singapore just to allow them to boost their morale, right?
Okay,
In a situation where they came out of it so hard.
Yeah.
With so much uncertainty, it's really nice to kind of get them to do things like that. So yeah, I do get to play a lot with them in terms of, kicking a soccer ball around, dancing with them, doing TikTok videos, handing out items for them to take home in the vintage bazaar. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.